Whether you were watching or not, plenty of players to root for in Major League Baseball, and credit the league for making them available on microphones last night during the All-Star game. How can you not like Fernando Tatis Jr., Chris Bryant, Freddie Freeman? They had great sense of humors on display last night. Had an interview with Shohei Ohtani and its translator. Angels star didn't really deliver on the field, even though pitched a scoreless inning. He got the win, but that constant smile, the fact that he was available, he was there for Home Run Derby, some of the bright spots for Major League Baseball. And baseball has its fair share of critics, and a lot of it's fair. Style of play isn't ideal. We've seen enough strikeouts for an entire season already at the All-Star break. But the stars go a long way in defining a sport. If you look at the NBA, that almost seems to be the model that Major League Baseball is trying to emulate, and they should. Last night's All-Star game proved that they might be onto something. You have Tatis Jr., Vlad Guerrero Jr., you have Ohtani. You have some names here, at least names that resonate with younger fans, because that's what this is all about. We were sitting around here earlier today before the show, and we sounded like old men. I remember back in our day, we could name all the All-Stars. We could name the guys who were on the bench. Okay, it was really important to you back then. You didn't have as many distractions. You didn't have things like a job or a family. And they didn't know anything about girls at the time. And, maybe today's younger fan knows who these players are, all of these players. You're playing video games with them. We used to collect baseball cards. And I think it's easy to go back in our day. Okay, back in our day. But kids today, if you're going to sell the game to them, that's really what's important. What are they consuming? What are they interested in? What do they care about? Do they love bat flips? Do they love the style of Tatis Jr. or Vlad Guerrero Jr.? Are they into Shohei Ohtani? These are all fascinating personalities for me. But if a younger audience, a younger generation is not consuming it, it's not great for the sport. If you look at the target demo, of what Major League Baseball caters to, it's the oldest demo in the major sports. You're looking at mid-50s as a baseball fan. Everybody wants the younger audience here. I think this was a really good week for Major League Baseball. They've survived this spider tack, with doctoring of baseball here. But you're able to have a showcase moment for Shohei Ohtani, and you get Vlad Guerrero Jr., who's 22 years of age. You got Tatis Jr., who's the same age. They grew up together. Their dads played in the major leagues. It was fun. You had Pete Alonso from a big market with the Mets winning Home Run Derby again. I think Major League Baseball has a lot to build on here. They're going to take away the seven-inning doubleheaders next year and get rid of we're going to put a guy on second base to start extra innings. Those are just some of the things that the commissioner has talked about. They did this during the pandemic. I get it. Now we move on. What's the next step for Major League Baseball? And really, I think it's important for the legacy of this commissioner. How are you growing the game? It seems like everybody's still making money. Players are still getting paid great salaries here. I don't know how the All-Star ratings were, but if you go back when we were growing up, it was a big deal. There were a lot of people watching. Well, there weren't as many options to be watching something else. We had 3 channels. Of course you were watching it. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have social media. Nowadays, what you're getting, you might get, 6 million people watching the All-Star game, maybe 7 million. I don't know what the numbers were from last night. We'll wait to see the overnights, but Major League Baseball has some positives here. You got good teams in big markets. That's important as well. But for the most part, I think Major League Baseball has had a pretty good week.